he as a person to talk to and hang out with outside of this show?
Well, I've been friends with Kevin for almost 40 years now. And everybody in the View Askew universe considers me an OG. And I'm probably the original OG next to his cousin Johnny, who played Coey London in Clerks. But outside of all the movie stuff, when I get around Kevin, the first thing I do, obviously, is ask him how he is, his family, his mom, and stuff like that. Because I've known his mom my whole life, and she's a great woman, and I love her to death. But I try not to get into the business stuff with him, the movie business. We talk about the past, our friends. He's always asking about people that we grew up with, people he hasn't seen in a long time. So I kind of give him a heads up of what's been happening and what people are doing, and we just shoot the shit. We talk about old school rap. We talk about movies. We talk about our families, and then we'll get into a little bit of the movie business. And that being because I started my own production company, so now I'm getting into the movie, the production side. So I'll ask Kevin for advice on certain things, but I try not to, talk to him about shit that most people would talk to him about.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, we have a conversation that lasts. We get together. Sometimes it's very brief and it's to the point. But then when I can get him for a while, we'll sit there for 3-4 hours and just shoot the shit and, just catching up.
That's always a good thing. That's always fun. What are you up to right now, Ernie, actually, for people who'd like to know?
Well, like I said, I started my production company in 2015, and I produced a horror movie called 100 Acres of Hell, which will be coming out soon. It's all finished. We're done. We're just finishing up post-production. I co-star in that, and I've always wanted to do a horror movie, and I think this was a good way to get my feet wet as far as producing. I had a blast doing it. It was really good. I mean, it's obviously a lot of hard work. I also got an animated sitcom series in development, and I got 2 scripts. One is being looked at by Universal and one being looked at by Paramount, that we're hopefully trying to get off the ground with another partner of mine, Stacey Toy. So it's going to be a good year in 2018. Not to mention shooting Clerks is out there that everybody knows about, that I was an associate producer on that. And that's doing really well and winning a lot of awards, which we're really happy about.
Oh, yeah, talk about shooting Clerks, because we've talked to Chris Bain on the show, on here, and he talked about him being in there. What's shooting Clerks? Talk about it for us.
Well, obviously, they talked to a lot of people before they got to me. When they got to me, they were like, now we have the Holy Grail. They said, we need to get all this information that nobody else knows to fill in all the voids of the early stages of Kevin's, career to making Clerks. So they talked to me for a long time. I gave them a lot of information, kept a few things out that I thought might be a little sensitive, obviously. But generally what you see in Clerks is pretty much what happened. They elaborated a little bit, which is fine. But these guys were pros. I mean, I just was really shocked by their dedication and tenacity and how well they did everything. And I couldn't be prouder of these guys and what they did with shooting Clerks and how they represented Kevin and his upbringing as far as Clerks is involved. I mean, the first time I met these guys was in Leonardo in front of the original Quick Stop. Dressed as a cop, and I was dressed as a cop because that's my character, and I rolled up in my truck in my cop uniform with guns, badges, everything, all legit stuff because I have friends in law enforcement, and I jumped out of the car and started giving them a whole bunch of shit for loitering, and they thought I was the real cop because I pretty much speeded up to the building, slammed on the brakes, got out of the car. They didn't realize who I was at first because I had my hair slicked back, I had sunglasses on, and gave them a good scare, but it was funny, and they loved it, and we had a great shoot.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That does sound like a lot of fun. I can see them losing it with that. That would be funny.
Oh yeah, they're a bunch of great guys. They really are.
Oh, cool. We have yet to see the movie. We want to see it. We just haven't had any way of getting it to us. So we have to figure out a way to get this movie to us so we can watch it ourselves.
Yeah, I mean they've been They did a tour of the East Coast, the West Coast. They're out in the UK now. They just screened it in London last night, and it went really well. Like I said, it's won a shitload of awards so far, and hats off to these guys.
Well, that is absolutely awesome, and we will be covering that. Once we get a chance to seeing it, we will cover it on this show, because we do want to talk about that movie, maybe on the break between two movies, because we're doing the Clerks 2 down the road.
Yeah.
So, on that note, Ernie, thank you for taking time out. I know it was kind of a pain to set up with us the last couple of weeks, but thank you so much for taking time out tonight. This was a lot of fun for us. Anything you want to plug outside of what you've been doing? Like, where people can find you on Twitter or on the social medias? Yeah,
I mean, people can always reach out to me on Facebook. That's pretty much all I do. I'm not really big on the computer scene, but I do Facebook, and I do have that movie 100 Acres of Hell coming out soon, and also shooting Clerks when they release that. But other than that, I got my hands full with a lot of stuff in production, and I just want to say thanks to everybody to supporting Clerks for this long, and to all you guys out there for really appreciating what we've done almost, 23 years ago now.
Yep.
It's quite amazing how this thing keeps living on. So I really appreciate that through you guys.
No problem. Thank you so much for taking time out for us, because that's actually a big deal to us to have you guys come here and talk about the movie with us. So it's a big deal for us.
Oh, no, it's our pleasure. Hope you gotta get more guys on there.
We're hoping to get Brian, and Kevin is he's not meant to be a pun, the white whale for our show, because he has not got back to us yet, and we're trying so hard to get Kevin on the show, and he will not answer us for some reason. So we're trying.
No, don't take it personally. I've come across a lot of people like you that have been in the same position, and it has happened. So,
awesome.
But there's a lot of you guys out there doing this. So. He's a busy man, we all know, but don't lose hope.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
It's all right timing. It's all about timing, baby.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Ernie, for coming on. I appreciate everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
You too. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We are part of the Filling the Void Podcast Network, where you can find our other show, Retrocast, and my main show, the Blake and Sal Show, of all everything else going on over there. We are on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. I think I got them all at once. I probably missed something in there. No big deal. You can find us everywhere. Please rate and review the show. We will read them on here. We're thinking we were going to do something at the end of the show where we actually go through reviews. So rate and review us. Give us some comments. We'll read them on the show down the road. Thank you so much for joining us here on Clerks Minute. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good day, everybody.
I can't think of a thing to say. Fuck it.
Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts and smoking.